Okay, so I gave myself a challenge to do 100 days of content, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm holding myself accountable here. And yes, this is welcome to my very humble abode. You are seeing all of it. Um, it's not perfect, and neither am I. However, we're still going to take imperfect action because that gets us to the next best step. And I wholeheartedly believe that that's where I've even gotten to where I'm even confident enough to be speaking to you right now and posting it on YouTube in my very messy house. Hashtag ADHD. Yeah. So today I was watching a few different pieces of content. If you haven't checked out Myron Golden, please go do so. He is phenomenal. I was watching several of his videos today, and he just does such a good job at explaining how to unpack your knowledge and share it with others, and how we have to get out of our own way to really make that happen. I got really discouraged this past week, like I said, because I thought I had this client that I was going to be starting with in January, and so far haven't heard back. So even though that happens, that will happen, you will have adversity, you will have disappointment, no matter what endeavor you choose, you will have these things. I dealt with it with my ministry too. When we were just starting out, I was really getting concerned because we were pretty much funding the whole thing, which is fine, right? Because I love ministry, I love doing outreach, like it was fine. We were enjoying what we were doing, and we knew that what we were doing was very valuable. However, it was very discouraging because I'm like, how am I going to grow this thing? How am I going to make it have the impact that I want it to have when I don't have the funds coming in? Like, how is this going to work, God? How am I going to take this thing and make it something so it can be sustainable? Because, oh my goodness, if it is not sustainable, then I'm gonna have to shut it down. It's gonna have to get shut down, and then I'm not gonna be able to have any more impact, and I'm not gonna be able to like reach the people that I want to reach, and like the whole spiral just kept spiraling down. So I was thinking about all of that today because I'm like, man, Myron talks a lot about how he came from nothing and created something, but it took him like so many years to get this figured out. And I think that's safe to say that it takes time to build these things. It takes time to learn. I'm like, man, I watched, I don't know, 4 videos or something, like four different things, 4 different pieces of content. And that was like my whole day. That was my whole day. And I got a lot out of it. It was great, but I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to go back and watch this again, slow it down, take notes, and really try to internalize it. Like, it is going to take a little bit longer. There is no get rich quick. Like, even with what I talk to people a lot about, finding their purpose and finding their calling and figuring out what it is that God has called them to do. Like, which there is a lot of people talking about this, right? Sorry, I keep looking at my I had a hair on my arm. It was bothering me. There's a lot of people talking about this content. Okay, there's a lot of people talking about going after your calling and finding your purpose and what does that really mean. And Myron even talks about this, okay? And what he says is so true. It's just straight from the Bible. It's just straight from the Bible, but you actually have to read the Bible and then internalize it and then have it impact your life enough to make the change. And so coming into that, I'm like, okay, God, what are the things that I still need to change? What are the things that I still need to work on to make the change even possible? Because I think a lot of times we want the change. We want to make the change. But the implementation steps, like the little baby micro steps to actually get the change to happen, that's where I start focusing. I'm like, okay, if I want to do X, Y, and Z, for instance, making these YouTube videos, I'm like, okay, I don't have big fancy equipment. I do have a camera. I have a nice camera that I could use, but I'd have to connect it, and I'd have to get the video edited, and I have to connect it to a microphone, which I don't have yet. So I don't have all the bits and pieces that I need for that. So then I just can't get started. I can't get started with my videos. I can't get started with, my YouTube channel. I can't do it. I don't know all the video software, even though I went to school for design. Like, I didn't go to school for videography. I went to school for interior design. Way different, okay? And so I can't get started. But then I'm like, okay, let me take this step back. I can make an imperfect action and get started doing something. So I'm on my phone. I'm using the phone audio. It's not perfect. It's not great. I don't even have a tripod yet. Nope. I think I have one somewhere, but nonetheless, I don't have that available everywhere I'm at. So it's not going to happen that way. Eventually, I plan to have that. Eventually, I plan to be more proficient. But right now, starting out, I got to take the next step that will get me closer to my goal. And so I'm slowly making these changes, right? I'm making 100 days of content. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what I'm going to focus on every day, but it really doesn't matter. The whole point is that I'm doing the things that I am asking other people to do, that I am helping. And they are going to see that, oh, she's not just talking out her, behind. We're actually doing the stuff. I am showing you this is exactly what you need to do to make the next step. Maybe it's not that, you need to make a YouTube channel. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe your business is going to be a brick and mortar. Everybody can benefit from a YouTube channel nonetheless. If you're not there yet, you're not there yet, and that's okay. It's okay not to be there yet. But the thing is that we still have to start getting there. And what are those little micro steps to get there? Well, it's doing what you can do and making that your next step. Okay, I don't have the video camera, so I am using my phone. And it's easy for me to use my phone because I can upload it directly from my phone to YouTube. I can add the thumbnail directly from my Canva account. I can download it to my phone, and then I can upload it to the YouTube account, one and done. I'm not even editing these YouTube videos, okay? I'm not. Because I don't have time. For one, I'm a mom of 3 kids. The fact that they're all quiet right now is because somebody's watching something on Amazon Prime or something. I don't even know. And sometimes that's just, today we're taking a lazy day, and that's okay. I'm here to tell you it's okay. It doesn't always have to be perfect, and it doesn't always have to be scheduled and organized, and you can still take massive action to make that happen. I was talking yesterday about, in my last episode, I was talking about how Joseph was thrown into the pit, and this is a story that Myron talks a lot about, and I really started to unpack the things that he is sharing and really starting to deep dive into what that actually means, right? And you have to think about how long it actually took Joseph before he became in charge of Egypt. What does that have to do with what you're doing now? Because what it has to do is that everything comes in its time. Everything comes in its season, and we cannot rush those things. They're in God's timing. They are not in our timing. So if things aren't working out for you in this season, it is okay. It will be okay. You will be okay. It will happen when it's supposed to happen. Maybe there's an experience that you still need to go through. Maybe there's a situation that you still have to deal with to learn how to cope with whatever it is that you're going after for your calling or your purpose, right? For me, I'm working on helping micro schools get started, helping co-ops get started. I'm here helping people build community right now. Does that mean that's what I'm going to be focused on the entire bane of my existence? No, absolutely not. But that's what I'm working on right now. And I'm dealing with situations that are surrounding those exact experiences. If I didn't go through some of my experiences, I wouldn't be able to help certain people that I am now able to help. So in your instance, you just have to keep pressing forward. Don't let those situations stop you from continuing to go after your goal or to continuing to go after your purpose. We have to think about how those experiences that we have are going to help the next person that we are going to encounter. Maybe you're not a coach, maybe you're not a consultant, maybe you are just a business owner, but maybe you are part of a chamber of commerce, and maybe you are able to help another small business to get started, or maybe you can be a partner of some sort. Or maybe you have a ministry and you see some missionaries, maybe you can partner with them, or maybe you see how you have some other ministries that you're seeing struggle, and you're like, hey, I've dealt with that before, here's how I solved my problem. We're all here for each other, and when we focus on the other person's problem, we end up getting a blessing in return, whether that's monetary, whether that's spiritual, whether that's just in a friendship connection. Maybe there's a relationship benefit out of that. But when we go and focus on others and helping others, like that's what I'm doing here. I am helping to encourage others because I needed this encouragement. I needed this encouragement for so long, but I just love to encourage other people to go after what they have been called to do. Because so many times I see so many people stop themselves from going after what they are passionate about because they don't feel like it matters, or because they don't think that it's going to be profitable, or they don't feel like they have the ability to do that because they don't know the steps to take to get there. And so I'm breaking all these things down. I'm breaking all these bad beliefs down that are there stopping you with fear so that you can move forward. Right? Like, I'm moving forward and I'm gaining more knowledge and I'm trying to be better, do better, have better, right? And so I'm trying to learn more so I can help people do more, so they can have more, so they can be more, so they can do what they were called to do. We are all called to do something, and the most that we can do is to keep moving and to keep going. And so as you go about your day, as you go about your life, don't let those negative experiences stop you from moving forward. It was just one bad experience. What can you learn from it? What can you use from that experience to help the next person, or to move forward, or to learn from, so that you don't do that again, right? It's not always a mistake, it's a learning experience. So take that in your next situation, in your next challenge. What can I learn from this? Ask God what you can learn from this.